Weapons, Mid-Lyfe Music. Shouts out to the almighty LDBC. Go to ldbcsports.com, register, make a profile, interact with the brothers and sisters at the LDBC. Also go to trailtalk.net, where you can hear social issues rather, sports talk, and you can pick up some merch at the merch store there. Lastly, you can go to my first home, which is A Weaponry, on Shopify.com, and I'll leave a link to the store, below. And you can pick up anything from my brand, which is A Weapons. You can pick up Relentless Aggression, which Prince Poe from Organized Confusion is helping me with. You can pick up Drew Titan's merch. You can pick up, BFTB's merch. And you can also pick up my brother Pitbull, the bodyguard. He's Whack 100's bodyguard. You can pick up some of his stuff also there. It's been a while, y'all. And I'm going to start putting a whole lot more videos up. And and I didn't say this before, but I started becoming a gossip columnist. And when I started realizing that I was doing way too much of that and not too much on what I need to do, I decided to pull back from that. I took down my A Weapons page and I took down all my videos. I still got them, in my phones, but I'm not going to put up anything anymore about gossip columnists, talking about people. I'm not going to do that no more. I will do one video, and I'm going to do a video about Dante's Boxing Nation. I got to do it. And the reason that I'm going to do it is because I hope he sees where he went wrong. And I'm not saying, I can say who's to blame. I can say. But that's the only video that I'm going to actually put up. And that's once I put back up my A Weapons page. Like I said, I'm starting over brand new. I'm going to focus on my clothing line, my athletic apparel line, whether it's me and Drew or whether it's like just my own situation or both or whatever. And I'm going to focus on music. And that's really about it, and anything music related. So with that being said, I just got through listening to the entire Chicago new album. And in case anyone's under the age of 40, we got to say 40, under the age of 40, Chicago is a rock band that came out in the mid to late 60s. They had they actually had two, I'd say 3 eras. They had 3 eras, because I don't include the other 2 eras as an era. They had the era where Terry Kath, God bless the dead, was the lead singer, and Peter Cetera and Robert Lamb actually backed him. Like, they would have a couple of songs on their own, but the band was basically about Terry Kath because he had that Jimi Hendrix type of sound, and he played guitar like Jimi Hendrix. So that was basically that era. Unfortunately, Terry Kath was playing around with guns, and he accidentally shot himself in the head, like he was playing Russian roulette. And he shouts out to Russian Roulette, my group. But I'm just playing. Being serious, he had accidentally shot himself in the head back in 1978. And so from that era, Peter Cetera, who's the high tenor voice of the group, who also played bass, he became the central point of Chicago. They didn't really have, they really didn't have superstardom until they ran into David Foster. And David Foster is a producer who's done songs with Earth, Wind and Fire, Bill Champlin, who actually wound up being a member of the group later on. He's done a lot of songs for a lot of people. The song Turn Your Love Around, Turn Your Love Around, George Benson, that was David Foster. And so all of those, once David Foster came in, Chicago actually became a superpower once again, bigger than they were in the 70s with Terry Kath. They got even bigger, and Peter Cetera was like the epicenter of that era. Peter Cetera got disgruntled about the group's direction and decided, well, let's just be honest. He wanted to be solo. He wanted more of the money. Let's just keep it real. So he left. And I'm just giving you a backstory on the group before I actually start talking about this album. He left the group. In comes Jason Chef. They had moderate success because David Foster was still doing the songs. And even the songs that David Foster didn't do, they were still following that same formula. So from that point, they had moderate songs. During that time, maybe the 90s, they had a song with, Lenny Kravitz was singing, part of the song with them. You're the Only One for Me, I think that was the name of the song. But from that point, age, because all of them are either deep in their 70s or early 70s now. So that kind of started waning away. And they got this new cat because Jason Chef left the group. I thought it was a problem, but it wasn't a problem. He left the group because he had to take care of his family. So, I hope everything is okay with Jason Chef. Even though that was a shitty solo album you just came out with. That album was horrible. Golly, Jason. Call Dwayne Bailey. Please call him. Anyways, Jason Chef left the group. And so they got this dude. Is his name Neil Howland? I forgot the brother's name right now. But he was actually in a tribute Chicago band called The Beginnings. He's pretty good. He's a damn good singer. And he does Peter Cetera's parts pretty good. But, his voice sounds kind of smoky. But he's still dope, though. He's still dope. And so this is where we're at now. People have left, came. Oh, pause, y'all, for the came. Pause. And pretty much they just dropped the album today. They actually dropped the album today. I'm going to listen to all the songs. And the first thing that I will say is that it's listenable. We'll put it that way. It's listenable. The problem that I have with older groups that are coming out with new music is that they try to make their music sound young as far as the textures. You can't do that. You have to do what you know how to do. Chicago is a band. Journey is a band. And to me, they're just trying to keep up with the times sonically. Now, at least with Chicago, they kept the context of the music, or how do you say it? What do you say? How do you say that word again? But they kept everything, the context of the music. It wasn't about bullshit. They weren't trying to act young. They kept the concepts and the subject matter. That's what I'm looking for. I'm sorry. They kept the subject matter, age appropriate. We'll put it that way. For their age, they kept it age appropriate. The problem that I have is that they're using all of this modern technology to do their music. They're using drum machines. They're using, in some sense, auto-tune. They're using Neil's voice. Neil O'Donnell, that's his name. But they're using his voice just like they used to use Peter's voice in the 80s. But they're putting filters on it. And then they're putting filters on some of the music. And let me say this. When Neil had just joined the group, they had did a Chicago Christmas album. And I'm going to tell you the truth, I was not happy with it. Now, I love the music. But the problem I had is that they put a filter on the album and the shit sounds like a fucking 64-bit MP3. Like Blog Talk Radio. That's how the shit sounds. And I was mad about that shit. I'm like, yo, y'all should keep it crispy. Just like they did the Night and Day album when they did all of the old Music Conductor songs and spiced them up a little bit. It was crispy. And they should have kept that crispy. And they should have did this album the same way. They should have kept it crispy. But